Hey there, beautiful Gemmers. Yeah, it's been a while, huh? Maybe some of you haven't noticed. Haven't been on in a while. But I thought I'd jump on. Just check in. Don't want to belabor the point. Been a long year. My dad's doing better. He's fighting. He has a road to recovery, but he is fighting every step of the way. He's back home, so this has been going on since New Year's Eve. If some of you didn't know, he went into the hospital, heart failure. Found out he had a lot of health conditions. He went in the hospital, checked in, they send him home, do all these visits. 3 months later, finally gets his valve fixed and had some complications from that. That was one of the issues, was one of the 3 bad valves that were, one of them getting replaced. Poor guy got pneumonia, went back into heart failure, had to get a transfusion. Oh, Lord, where do we go from there? And then a rehab. And then, because the year hasn't been fun enough, right before he was ready to come home, my mom and I got the Roan E. And yeah, that kicked us in the butt. So we had to find somewhere for him to stay so he can sequester for a couple weeks. And it's just been, it's been fun. But let's focus on the positive. He's home. He is, he's on his road to recovery. And I cannot thank you enough for those of you who have reached out and, prayed and have been lifting him up in your prayers, and my mom and our family, because my mom has been taking care of him and she's been going through, and then she's not feeling well. It's just been a long road. Oh, beautiful gems. This last year, I mean, I've had one of my hardest years, and you may or may not have noticed I haven't been posting too much. And, I hit a wall. Like, I was in an accident back in August, right before my birthday, and a car accident that I caused, by the way. And everyone said, "Oh, it happens." But truth be told, that was a lot of I can't go there. But I hit a wall then, and was injured and had to recover and all that. But I hit a metaphorical wall or a mental wall. Have you ever been there where it's just too much? It's just one thing after another, and you guys are like, yep. And I had that this year. One thing after another. And just when I was going to lay my head down, it was like just when I thought I could rest. Oh, no, Sally. So going back to the ministry, and I was like, Lord, what do you want me to do with the ministry? I have been there before where I felt like just kind of, packing it up and kind of saying, I'm done, ski. I felt like God was like, it's okay. You're going to rest and you got to focus. Little did I know when we had an event in December, and I was still struggling with a lot of things. And some I share, a lot I don't share on here, because who wants to hear it, first of all? You guys have enough going on in your life. I do try to share a little bit so you understand you're not alone, but a lot of it I didn't. The depression that I have dealt with, my mental health was challenged. And then after we had our event in December, I knew I was going to go into a season of rest, but I had no clue what was up ahead with my dad. None, right? You don't. And then, so really, did I rest? No, but I've got into this place where I was like, Lord, months are ticking by. What am I going to do with Gems, with the ministry? I don't want to let people down, even though, as I've shared with you all, I feel like I put a lot of effort in and not a lot of return. Some people don't even watch this video, whatever. But again, God's, been teaching me about that. And a lot of it, and I wrote it down. I don't know if I show this, if you can really see it, but this is the word that has been on my heart. And I don't know if you could see, but it's about balance. And I talked on this years ago at a church. I talked about balance, but like between my rights, because we're living in the world of my rights, right? What is it, Lord, that what are my rights through Christ Jesus? What are my rights and what's God's will? And there's balance between that. So like ministry, for instance, I'll give you an example. Like I can't make it about myself. That if God tells me to go out and do ministry, but I'm not getting the traction that I want, and I've said this before, and I've had to repent and say, Lord, please forgive me, because I make it about myself when I worry about how many likes, or even if someone's going to watch this video. So little by little, God sets me free from what people think of me, what they're interested. Do they think I'm this? Do they think I'm that? I have been judged. I know, because I've heard, you know what I mean? It's not made up. I've been unfriended. I have been unfollowed. And then you think, oh man, Lord, I am doing this wrong. What am I doing? I beat myself up so bad. And so then the Lord's like, that's part of my torment. Like I torment myself. And then, where God's saying on one end, the ministry and how many people like, you're making it about yourself now. Lord, I know I am. Please forgive me. Because whether I tell you to get out there and nobody listens to you, or whether 20 million listen to you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because this is a ministry. This is the word of God through the ministry that I want you to speak, to help others. Because now you're becoming selfish when you feel like it's about you and you're not getting the traction. However, when I'm hitting a wall, when I'm dealing with mental health struggles, the Lord's like, rest. The Bible says, cast your cares on him because he cares for you. So you see what I mean? So we are living in a heightened sense, and I'm not going to get into all of it, but such a heightened sense of, we see it all around us. Like at any given moment, people are just ready to freak out, and they do. And then they'll judge you for your opinion as they're telling you don't judge them for their own, right? Like, so we live in a very hypocritical world. So we're seeing it around us in everything, every topic. Nobody could have their own opinion. Nobody sees two sides of a story anymore. I witnessed something with a business that this person posted about their personal beliefs and the hate that this person got. Broke my heart. I had to stop reading some of the stuff, the comments, because I'm like, Lord, this can't be the life that we're living in. This can't be the world that's going to get worse if we don't stop it, that we're leaving to our children and grandchildren. And then they're calling them out for the person that they're saying they support for being this awful person, while they're spewing forth hate, hoping their business goes under. And I just shook my head. Lord, it disheartened me so much. But again, goes back to aligning. As Christians, it's the cross, right? We believe in salvation. That is what we align ourselves. We die to self, the Bible says, when we ask Christ into our heart. And that's not all bad stuff. People think it's bad. Well, that means you're just some whatever, fanatic Christian or do-gooder. No. It means I can cast all my cares, as the scripture says, that I can let him fight my battles and I could be still. Oh, isn't that hard? Especially when you're like, Lord, a lot of times, many, many, many times in my life, the irony of me having words and talking a lot and liking to talk is, except when I go through things, then I'll start to implode. So if I'll silence, I'll go quiet, which is kind of crazy. But then you think, oh yeah, Les, never, not you. But yeah, I do. I will hide and scurry and crawl into a cover and not come out. Depression, right? And many times, though, God has told me just to be quiet. No. You're like, but nope. Nope. Now, I could go against that will and just keep, no, I'm going to say what I got to say. I'm going to say it. And he's like, okay, so those are your rights, right? Your rights. You think you got rights. But if you're walking in alignment with me, don't mind supersede yours, just saying. And you're like, oh. And there could be a lot of reasons why he wants you to be silent. It's hard. So what I wrote down here was, let me put on my shades. My little readers, my senior glasses. Okay. What I wrote down is balance my rights and God's will. My rights is exactly what God's will is. So I do have rights of salvation, peace, rest. God's will is for us to preach the good word, the gospel, that you have these rights through Christ. And he wants peace. He wants you to cast your cares. He'll fight your battles. Be still. God's will is that everybody's set free. God's will is that this balance is in your life. And somebody needs to hear this on this TGIF. I haven't done this in a very long time. And when I struggle between my rights and saying, okay, we can't be so heavily minded that we're foolish, as the word says. I'm not quoting that exactly right, but it means, then we could be so extreme that I got to work for the Lord. I got to keep working for the Lord. And then meanwhile, you're hitting a wall and you just keep going. You're like a zombie and you're not helping yourself and you're not helping anybody. God says to rest. Even he rested on the seventh day. So he's very clear in his word. So if you have any confusion on what your rights are, go to the word of God. So when you want to say, oh, I just don't like their position on that, I'm just going to tell them. And then God's like, no, you're not. He pull out the word of God and let me tell you what you're going to say. And you go into Proverbs and a lot of his scriptures are shitty, zippy, and love. We can share memes all day long about be kindness, doesn't cost a thing, and kindness and all, but we got to show it. And when we can't come to a discussion where you could have very different viewpoints, and I might not agree, but if we can't come to the table, that you might as well take those memes and flush them. They don't mean anything. They're words. Their talk is cheap. It's God says, look to what I say in the word and then walk it out, right? So I was reminded of this where I'm like, Lord, what am I going to do with this ministry? I've hit a mental proverbial hit the wall, hit the fence. Maybe I haven't done with the ministry. Lord, I don't know. I don't really, ironically, have much to say right now. And somebody reminded me or confirmed what God was sharing with me as I'm studying his scriptures and words. He's like, Les, you're exactly where you need to be. I need you to rest. So when I make it about myself, if no one's going to watch this video or they're going to judge me or unfriend me or unfollow me, which has been done, and then I implode, and then I'm like, oh my God, I beat myself up. What did I do? And I'm making it about me. No, see, that's out of balance. Because then I'll be like, I'm done. Now, if God says to shut the ministry down because I got to send you off somewhere else, it's different. But make sure, I got to make sure it's aligning with the word. But he's also saying it's okay to rest. You're exactly where you need to be. It's been a long year. Your health issues, your mental health, your car accident, your dad, ministry, then I got sick, and then there's work, and then my husband, of course, is sick. My uncle died. My dad's remaining sibling 2 days after his surgery. He was dealing with one of the situations my dad has. So he's like, rest, my beautiful daughter. Somebody needs to hear that. You come closer, come closer. You're exactly where you need to be. If you're tired, rest. But I encourage you to cast your cares on the Lord. I encourage you to find balance. That's where freedom is. Don't be one extreme. We shouldn't be another. There should be balance. And how do we find balance? Line it up with God's will in your life. The Bible, it has a lot of instruction for how we should do things. We don't always follow it. Look, and God knows that. I'm not perfect. You're like, oh girl, aren't you just the perfect thing? No, I am far from that. I wouldn't be imploding. And for those of you imploding along with me, it's because we do care, because we beat ourselves up. We fall into depression. We care. That emotion of caring can get out of balance. That emotion can take us down roads that are not pretty. So if you need to hear this, I kind of broke out of my little respite of getting over my dad is back home finally. What are we into June? This poor guy. He's been through so much, 6 months, and my mom. But God is faithful. He's faithful. When I said, Lord, I can't take one more thing, but didn't he? He said, you don't need to. I got this. Phew. Somebody needs to hear that too. Give it to him. Wherever you're at in your living room, get on your knees and cry out, I can't do this, Lord. Tell him what it is. Everything. Tell him. Tears strolling down your face, snot coming out of your nose, laying prostrate before him on the floor. Take it. Lord, take it. I can't do this anymore. And as he gathers all of it up, he takes you lovingly and he puts you on your couch and he gets a little pillow and a blanket. And he says, my word says, cast your cares. Take my yoke, and that blanket is his yoke. Take my yoke upon you. Learn of me, because my burden is light. And he tells you to rest. Now, but I gotta rest. Yeah, you will. I know what you gotta do, but not today. Rest. So be blessed, beautiful gems. You're exactly where you need to be. Exactly where you need to be. I'll be checking in. I'll be praying for the ministry. I hope you pray along with me. What does God have? What message? We know it's deep and dark out there, so there's a message that's rumbling. But I got to be equipped to get out there and follow God's lead on what he wants me to do. But this was one of them. He said, get out there and just talk about balance, that your rights align with his will. So your rights, when you're like, I want this, my rights. No. There's balance in your rights. It's lining up. And you get all the great stuff. Peace, salvation. Anyhow, beautiful gemmers. I'm going to wrap up. Oh, I went 16 minutes. See, I don't talk for a while and I just flap. So look, I'll come back on and keep praying about what God has for the ministry and we'll post again. But in the meantime, be blessed, shine on, and keep on shining because you were made for it. Until next time.